Imagine a government that actually starts making perfect decisions. Don't worry, I'm not going to get political. Hello, mind friends. That's a big stretch of the imagination. Can you imagine a government that started making decisions that's in alignment with what we think they should be doing? Can you freaking imagine that? Let me share with you what I believe would happen. If the government started acting perfect or close to it, making great decisions for us, oh my god, we would fuck things up more than they already are. We, the people, would totally blow it. And here's why I'm so confident. Just listen to this, see if it makes any sense. There's a point why I'm making this video. There really is. It's not to just air something that I feel that's important. But imagine this. The government is doing things right, making really great decisions on our behalf. But we, the people, are still buying the bulk of our whatever we buy that are made in China. There goes our jobs. Didn't matter that politicians started making really great decisions. We just casted votes with how we spend our money to keep sending them overseas. And when they go overseas, as you know, that has a domino effect over every aspect of our culture, every aspect of our lives. Let's say the government makes perfect decisions, they're doing great. We're still buying almost all of our food that is contaminated with genetically modified organisms. It didn't matter that the government started doing the right thing. And whatever example you want to choose, we are still sending our money to companies that get rich off of poisoning us. We are so self-destructive as a people. We're so cancerous to ourselves, to other people, to other species, and to the planet as a whole that it won't matter if the government is making good decisions or bad decisions. This really is a country that is by the people, for the people, we the people. That's the way that it is. There is a cry in our country that says, if only the government were reflective of the people. How naive is that? It is naive. Can you imagine if we had a government that was reflective of the people? Well, you don't have to because we're living it. Unfortunately, that is our reality. We have a government that is reflective of the people. We are collectively, I believe in exercising intelligence and making discernments from person to person, but collectively, the average person, the bulk majority of us, fat, lazy, prideful, ignorant, and arrogant, stupid. We are none of these things at our core. We put this facade up at a lame attempt to protect our egos from hurting. And that's how we've come up with all of these things and all of these problems, regardless of what the government does, because they're always going to be reflective of us, which means we get a better government when we become better people. And we are not even going to be on the road to becoming better people, to deserve this better government, until we can enter into a headspace with enough mental and spiritual maturity to hear the truth about how we are mentally right now and listen to that without taking offense and getting offended over it. I mean, how many people could hear me say what I just said just now and truly not take offense and not be insulted? If you've been watching my videos for any length of time and you're still watching them, odds are you're with me. But the bulk majority of people out there probably won't even see this video. And a lot of them that clicked on it, they've clicked off by now. But if any of the majority out there has even made it this far and heard what I just said, they're up in arms, they're telling it how it is, keeping it how it is, they're offended, they're insulted. When somebody takes offense, that's really just their way of telling the world, I have no control over my emotions, so all of you have to. I mean, offense is stupid. You might actually, someone who is hell-bent on taking offense and feeling insulted might succeed at making somebody feel guilty. But it doesn't do anything to correct the underlying reason why they're unhappy. Therefore, it's a complete ego trip, self-absorbed way to be. There's an old adage that says the prideful will be torn down, the humble lifted up. We're a very prideful nation. We're being torn down, and it's been happening for many years. It doesn't matter what the government is doing. They are reflective of us. We'll have a better government when we become better people, and we're not even going to be on that road until we can at least accept the truth for what we've become, what we've devolved into. And once we do that as a whole, and even individually, then we can finally have the humility and an ego that's driven down far enough in its little corner where our ego should be, and enough humility to hear something without taking offense, but have a spiritual awakening. Wouldn't that be something? And when I think about what are we prideful over, we are not number one in anything anymore. This is not the 1950s. We're far beyond that. We're far below that, actually. Today we are number one in nothing except infant mortality and prisoner population. Really? We're still out there chanting, we're number one. Do you know how stupid that just makes us look? And that makes no sense. It's like if somebody were just arrogant, but they could back it up, I could work with that person. Somebody were just ignorant, but teachable, I could work with that person. But when someone's arrogant and ignorant, which is what our country is, that's too much. That's hopeless. That is like, we need a spiritual awakening and a mental and emotional maturity before we can even be on the path to solving our problems and being number one at something again, other than the prison population and infant mortality. So if we're going to go out there chanting number one, at least be honest and button it with something like, we're number one at infant mortality and prisoner population. We're number one with infant mortality and prison population. But I guess that doesn't have the same ring. And since we're a stupid nation, if it doesn't have a good sounding ring, we ain't doing it. It's just the way that it is. I mean, we routinely vote with our dollars. We send our money that we work hard for. We know, because we always say how hard we work and how unfair it is, but we routinely send our hard-earned money out to companies in exchange for them destroying us from the inside out with what we put into our bodies, what we put into our minds, what we put into our mouths. We vote for it all the time. But we expect our government to fix everything? Are you kidding me? It's not going to happen until we happen. That's my message. If you feel this message is worthy to put out there, then please do share it. And it would be wonderful if we could all just calm down with our egos, give way to some humility. It's amazing the kind of truthful criticism we can accept for the purpose of a spiritual awakening, not to tear people down, but to lift people up. But we cannot lift ourselves up unless we know where we are. And we are so head in the sand, like a bunch of wusses, to protect our egos from hurting, that we won't even listen to where we are right now. So we have no chance at lifting ourselves up. But I do believe it's possible that we could have some kind of an awakening where the doorway can begin to open and we can start to lift each other up. And we can be a great people, a great nation again. And with that, by default, comes a great government that is reflective of us. So if you dig this, if you feel it's worthy, click share, get this out there, man. This is just raw. There's no script here. I just had a moment of inspiration and here I am. And you might also like my website too. If you dig this, I've got a website, thousands of pieces of content. It's free. It's called fireyourboss.xyz, not .com. Don't go there. Go to fireyourboss.xyz. .xyz really does exist. I'll prove it. Just go there. Fireyourboss.xyz. I don't have a job. I don't want a job. I work for free. And I love saying that because it's like one of the most liberating things I get to say, and it's true. Thousands of pieces of content for free. So go there. You'll probably dig it. It's got everything to do with health, healing, happiness, freedom. It's a big thing. Lifting each other up, empowerment, philanthropy. If your heart bleeds to be able to do more to help other people, that would certainly make us great again, right? All those kinds of things. You'll probably dig it. So share if you feel it's worth it. Fireyourboss.xyz. Pull out whatever you want to that helps you. And next video is coming soon because there's always something I'm putting in my brain that just lights me up and I want to make another video. Bye for now, everyone.